Jetzt einer hier, natürlich. Hat einer gegen die Wand gehen. Ja.
Er hat gerade wer am Fenster geklopft vorne und Leon hat sich zu Tode erschrocken. Wird uns jetzt hier gleich...
Anybody out there? Hey! Hey!
Follow you, after you.
A man moved through the Russian taiga, heading toward a trap he and several others had set to capture. Wolves, animals considered pests because of the threat they posed to livestock. When he finally reached the trap, there were no wolves inside. Instead, he was faced with something completely unexpected and far more terrifying. The situation quickly became dangerous.
Хороший, ну. Пусть он жрет нахуй. Пизда зубы. Я зубы. Я урываю через зубы вырываю. Да убить уже.
The trap had been built for wolves, not for a bear, yet a fully grown, enraged bear was now confined within it. Leaving the animal there was not an option, as it would have eventually died. In the end, the bear was released. There is no clear explanation of how it was done, but quick decisions may have prevented a worse outcome, raising the question of what might have happened if the rescue had failed completely. This is Josh, the creator of the YouTube channel, Josh the Intern, where he records his travels and outdoor adventures. In a video uploaded on March the 7th, 2025, he travels deep into a forested region in Sri Lanka, searching for one of the country's oldest prehistoric caves, Bele Lena, commonly called the Cannibal Cave. The video carries the title, "I Explored a Secret, Cannibal Cave and Things Go Horribly Wrong." As Josh moves deeper into the forest, two men suddenly step out from the bushes and begin following him. They match his pace, stopping whenever he stops. Before long, they close the distance and begin urging him to go with them, claiming there is something they want to show him. Josh begins to feel uneasy and turns on his camera.
I've been joined by some friends. They're showing me around. Very cool.
He tries to remain calm, acting as though he is simply filming the scenery, and continues toward the cave he had worked hard to reach. Each time he lowers the camera, however, the men again insist that he follow them to see something interesting. Josh later explains that he felt uncomfortable, but still decided to give them the benefit of the doubt and go along with them.
I think these guys want to show me something. Wow. It was an abandoned house, and they wanted me to go in first. Okay, I'll follow you, after you.
At that moment, from the corner of his eye, he notices one of them beginning to move behind him. His instincts take over, and he realizes he needs to leave immediately.
You get one more shot, okay? One more shot. Oh, sorry, I'm just shooting, filming, and doing more. And then I'll come, okay?
Josh calmly pretends to keep filming and slowly backs away toward the exit. He behaves as if he is preparing another shot, and when the men are briefly distracted, he decides to move.
I'll come soon, I just want to shoot this. But you go, I'll stay, and then I come later. Okay? Okay.
At first, he walks away at a normal pace, saying he forgot something on the trail. Shortly after, he hears footsteps behind him, and that is when he starts running.
Alright guys, so I have made it to safety. I wanted to wait until I was off the isolated road because there's only one way up and one way down to that cave. I ran down that mountain, that's why I'm very, very sweaty.
After reaching a safer location, Josh explains that he intentionally waited until he was farther from the isolated road, noting that there is only one path leading to and from the cave. As the adrenaline fades, he is drenched in sweat from running down the mountain. Josh says that during his time traveling in Sri Lanka, he met many kind and welcoming people, but this encounter felt completely different. The way the two men followed him and suggested changing direction raises questions about their intentions. In situations like this, is it safer to continue, or is trusting your instincts and leaving early the better choice? The footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Tacos World in July 2025. In the video, two German YouTubers, Marco and Leon, begin a cross-country road trip from Germany into France. The goal of the series is to document as many abandoned locations as possible, with both explorers dressed in suits and posing as real estate agents searching for forgotten chateaux and lost properties across France. At the start of the video, they drive through the French countryside for several hours before reaching an abandoned house at around 1 a.m. They park their car outside and walk around the property looking for a way inside. Eventually, they discover an open window and use it to enter the building. Once inside, they express concern about nearby neighbors since they are inside the house late at night. Because of this, they avoid using their flashlights too openly and try not to draw attention. They carefully explore the interior for nearly 15 minutes and slowly make their way toward the living room. While moving through that area, they suddenly experience something deeply unsettling.
Mal gucken, ob da drüben die Nachbarn am Fenster stehen. Da ist halt Licht an. Wenn man hier drinnen rumleuchtet.
War noch so eine alte Kasse, die praktisch wie eine Schreibmaschine hier. Raus, da kommt jetzt einer hier, natürlich. Hat einer gegen die Wand gehämmert. Ja. Der kommt da jetzt noch safe rum.
Wir kriegen jetzt schon Besuch. Hat gerade wer am Fenster geklopft vorne und Leon hat sich zu Tode erschrocken. Wird uns jetzt hier gleich entgegenkommen.
Hello?
Hey, das war wild. Hier ist niemand.
Da hat richtig einer gegengewämst.
Ja, der wollte uns nur einen Schreck einjagen. Hat sich jetzt wieder irgendwo verstrollt.
After hearing loud, aggressive banging on a window, the explorers immediately rush out of the room and step outside to investigate. They cautiously approach the window where the noise came from, but after checking the area, they find no one. They return to their car and spend several minutes going back and forth trying to understand what just happened. During this time, they notice a person standing on the opposite side of the building, quietly watching them from a distance. Later, they suspect this individual may have been a neighbor who saw them inside the house and tried to scare them away by knocking on the window. They eventually decide to leave the location entirely and move on, hoping the next abandoned house will be more peaceful.
Was machen wir jetzt? Kurz gucken?
Ja.
Nein, guck mal, hier ist auch ganz viel Kohle. Das ist alles, also frisch gestapelt nicht, aber das sieht richtig fresh aus.
What? Ey Junge, das ist doch... Also dieser Bereich hier gefällt mir nicht. Oh, mein Herz, Alter.
Man hört Geräusche.
Ich bin schon wieder in den Spinnweben. Ich fühle mich irgendwie richtig unwohl. Aber Junge, guck doch mal das auch, wie die geordnet hier die Sachen stehen. Es ist lost, das war vorne verbarrikadiert und alles.
Ja. Na komm.
Du gehst vor.
Ich gehe vor, okay.
Oder ich mit der Heugabel.
Hello? Hello? Hey, die Tiere. Hier ist der Hausflur, da ist die Eingangstür. Hier ist die Tür zu.
After hearing more noises coming from inside the building, the explorers call out to announce themselves and head toward the source to investigate. During a brief but careful search, they continue calling out and checking multiple rooms. Despite their efforts, they receive no response and find no one. They do come across several rooms that appear to have been used by homeless individuals or squatters, but they avoid making assumptions and continue exploring. The pair then leave that area and head up toward the attic to investigate further. As soon as they reach this section, they once again hear unsettling sounds.
Die Zeitung, Mann. Von wann ist sie? 1979.
Ja. Boah, diese Bilder, ey. Oh, man hörte mal was, ey, es Tropfen und so.
Ja, man denkt, das sind Schritte oder sowas,
Ja,
ne?
ich dachte gerade schon, es kommt irgendwer. Das Ding ist,
Ja, noch weiterleben.
wir sind von da drüben hochgekommen und hier geht's aber wieder runter. Wahrscheinlich in einen Teil des Hauses, von dem man, ja, wo man nur von hier hinkommt. Aber da ist eine Tür, als wenn sich hier so zwei Häuser einen Dachboden teilen.
Ja. Echt unsafe hier. Ja, guck dir mal.
Ich fühle mich hier mega unwohl. Ich weiß nicht warum. Ich glaube, das liegt an der...
Krass, warum bist du so anfällig?
Ich glaube, wegen der ersten Location. Irgendwie war mich das jetzt so... Ich habe schon wieder Angst, dass da jetzt irgendwer das Licht irgendwo sieht.
After another series of noises echoes through the building, the explorers have no idea who or what is causing them. Although they attempt to investigate again, the result is the same. They find nothing and grow increasingly uneasy. Considering the situation along with the fact that it is now nearly past 3 a.m., after a full night of exploring, they decide to end the investigation. They make their way to the exit and safely return to their car without further incident. It remains unclear whether the noises and encounters were caused by people nearby or something else entirely. If you were in their place, would you keep searching for answers or leave early to stay safe? A man named Eric was traveling down a highway with his friends beside a forested stretch when they noticed unusual writing along the roadside. Driven by curiosity, they turned onto a long dirt road lined with strange signs, threatening messages, and unsettling dolls. At the entrance, a sign warned that the land belonged to a dangerous witch who was always watching.
What is that?
There's... What? Don't tell me it's here. What the f... Wait, did you hear that?
Was that a dog?
What the hell is this? Oh, it's in Spanish. Wait,
We'll
okay.
translate that for you guys, on the video.
I'm not trying to
Well, I'll do it now.
cuss.
So it says, this land is of a witch, of danger?
Did you hear that again?
Yeah, I think it's a girl. My eyes are looking at you, stay.
Alright, so right off the bat, guys, we got a bunch of dolls here just laying around this fence.
Look, they look burnt. Look at this one. There is no way.
Along both sides of the road, fences were filled with disturbing, broken, and burned dolls. Collecting so many would have required a great deal of time and suggested an unhealthy obsession.
Yo, look. I feel like this is like some voodoo shit. I don't even want to touch him. Can you go ahead and blink if you're haunted? Maybe I could take you with me. Yeah.
At the end of the road, they discovered 3 handmade mannequins dressed in worn, tattered clothing. The sight was deeply unsettling. Deeper in the woods, they came across an abandoned shack that looked less like a shelter and more like a place where someone could have been kept against their will. Moments later, they noticed a figure standing in the distance. Frightened, they fled the area, never getting the chance to fully explore the disturbing sight. Places like this are often described online as warnings or folk displays meant to scare people away, but they can also hide real dangers. In a situation like this, would you keep exploring or leave to stay safe? This video was shared by Chris, who runs a paranormal group on Facebook and YouTube known as NKPS Paranormal. Outside of that work, he enjoys spending time camping. Recently, he reported hearing unusual sounds, such as distant howls and snapping branches, and had also captured strange images and clips on his trail cameras. Because of this, he decided to return to the area, set up a campsite, and use some of his equipment to look into what was happening. What happened next surprised both him and the audience.
Friendly ghost hunter here, Chris. So I've decided to come back here and camp out for you all tonight. All my gear, see what happens. So I'll get back to you after I set the tent and everything up. I do have my pew again tonight with me, just in case something goes down. But I'm going to try to get set up inside the tent. And maybe we'll do a walk around here later. I'll get back with you after I get this set up.
Chris finished setting up his tent, went inside, began recording, and started using his gear.
I'm going to give you all a few more minutes. And then we're going to call this quit with this stuff. Then we're going to go out and walk around and see what we can get into, see what we can find. And then we're going to call it a night. Hey! Hey! Jesus Christ. Something just literally jumped on this tent.
Despair.
Who is out there? Alright guys, I'm back out here. I don't see anything. Anybody out here?
Not long after, something suddenly struck the tent with force. He exited the tent to check the area around him, but there was nothing there. Although he is not fully convinced by ghost hunting devices, the timing was unsettling as his equipment reacted immediately after the impact. Chris searched the surrounding area but found no clear signs of another person or animal. Based on his background and the way the footage unfolds, there is little to suggest the moment was staged or intentionally created for attention. The explanation was left open. It is possible the sound came from wildlife or something moving through the forest, but the timing raises questions. If you were camping alone and this happened, would you investigate further or leave to stay safe? This YouTube creator, Pasha Brill, travels to investigate a strange and unsettling location known as Gramovo, a remote forested zone surrounded by disturbing local stories. According to nearby residents, lightning strikes the area every single day, even when the skies are clear. No one lives there, and tourists avoid it because of numerous strange incidents and unexplained deaths. There is also a cemetery located in the middle of an open field, containing graves belonging to local residents and unfortunate visitors who died in the area. The video was uploaded on December 1st, 2025. The surrounding landscape is filled with scorched trees and burn marks, suggesting that something from above repeatedly strikes the same location. At the center of the field stands a massive boulder, which locals believe is responsible for attracting the lightning. The surface of the stone feels warm, and at its center is a blackened burn mark as if something had been seared into it. People in the region speak of glowing lights, dry lightning, and even claims of ritual activity taking place there. Pasha sets up his tent beside the stone and chooses to remain there overnight. He turns off his phone, positions a camera, and waits.
Did you hear that? Let's go. Look. A chunk of the rock shattered. It's hot. I think we got it on camera. That was insane. We're not staying for another strike.
A lightning strike hits the rock, directly breaking part of its surface and leaving visible damage. Some believe the repeated strikes may be connected to natural forces or unusual geology, while others point to the area's long history of strange events. If you were there and witnessed this yourself, would you trust science or the local legends? This footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Moto Owen in July of 2023. In the video, a rider named Owen traveled deep into a dense forest, far from the main roads, accompanied only by his dirt bike and camera. As he moved farther into the woods, the atmosphere seemed to change. He came across several bones scattered along the trail, pale fragments that appeared to be the remains of a deer or another medium-sized animal. The discovery clearly unsettled him, but instead of turning back, he chose to continue forward, guiding his dirt bike through loose branches and uneven ground that occasionally threw him off balance and nearly knocked him from the bike. After pushing through the rough path, he reached a section completely blocked by multiple large fallen trees, forming a natural barrier. He shut off the engine, stepped off the bike, and attempted to clear a way through the tangled trunks. For a brief moment, it was only him, the quiet forest, and the camera recording.
That's kind of creepy. Go this way. You turn around and you never get to see what's on the other side. That's where all the gold is waiting over there. Could be missing out what's on the other side.
Then, the situation changed when loud, distorted sounds echoed from somewhere within the trees. It was enough to convince him to leave. Days later, curiosity brought him back. Retracing the same route, he once again encountered bones and the same strange stillness in the forest.
There's even more bones than last time. Looks like we've already passed it a while ago, but that tree is gone. Oh! It's just dark as hell in here. I'm probably gonna turn around soon. Oh, there's two ways. Holy crap, dude, this trail goes on forever. It just got really quiet really fast. That was my cue to leave.
After reviewing the footage frame by frame, he noticed what appeared for an instant to be a pale, human-shaped figure standing motionless at the tree line. The image turned a routine ride into a lingering mystery. Sometimes, the smallest details only become clear after the moment has passed. Do you think this was a simple misinterpretation, or something he truly was not meant to see? This clip comes from the Wild Camp channel, where the creator is known for his strong passion for wilderness survival. This time, however, nature seems to have taken control of the situation. In many ways, the entire video becomes an encounter on its own, because no matter how experienced someone may be, the decision he makes is extremely risky. During a powerful snowstorm at an elevation above 13,000 feet, he chooses to spend the night using nothing more than 2 rocks and a tarp. For 99% of people, that alone would be reason enough to turn back. But the mountain had other plans. As darkness settles in, the blizzard grows stronger, and temperatures fall to minus 39 degrees Celsius, a level of cold that offers no mercy. In conditions like these, even a small mistake can become fatal. Nothing dramatic happens, yet the environment itself is deeply unsettling. He does not build a fire. Instead, he climbs into a sleeping bag directly on frozen ground. At temperatures this extreme, there is always the possibility of not waking up, no matter how many layers are worn. With heavy snowfall overnight, there is also the risk of being buried by morning. It may show courage, but it also raises questions about the limits people are willing to test. Sometimes survival depends less on strength and more on small decisions made in the cold. Would you have taken that risk or walked away before night fell? The video captures a return to a historically significant site in Scotland, where the investigator relies on a spirit communication app and live audio recording to document unexplained sounds and subtle changes in atmosphere rather than using traditional ghost hunting tools. It is January 22nd, 2026 in a wooded region of Scotland.
Welcome back to the channel, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. This is an extra episode. This is just an extra episode recording on the way. The area where I did the urban legends, just to see what will happen. What comes through the spirit talker, and just because I've been hearing things.
The forest is home.
Before I started recording, it's actually said that a couple of times.
Leave this place.
No, I'm not quite ready to leave yet. Why should I leave? What's really weird is there's no, normally here, deer, owls, there's none of that tonight. So it's usually quite cool coming out and you hear like the deer and the owls and stuff when it gets quiet, like, and usually I hear weird things. Take what resonates and discard the rest.
Clear phrases begin appearing through the app, including warnings suggesting something negative is present and that the investigator should avoid moving deeper into the forest.
Just before coming down here, just before I came off the big trail up on, yeah, it started being a bit hostile. So it's like my own intuition was telling me that it's like a bit hostile.
The messages immediately frame the location as hostile. As the walk continues, the atmosphere seems to shift. What first felt neutral slowly becomes heavy and unwelcoming. Intuition signals possible danger, even though nothing visible explains the change.
I'm getting thrown there. That's the first, I think that's like the second time something's been thrown at me. So that gets thrown.
A distinct sound, similar to an object being thrown, is heard nearby and confirmed to have occurred more than once. With steep cliffs surrounding the area and no visible wildlife or obvious source, the origin of the noise remains unclear.
Or even around the other bit. It's all cliff. There's a quarry at one point. Anyway, head over to. Yep, gonna head over.
As the movement continues through the dark terrain, the sounds seem unusually close. The investigator references Scotland's ancient paths, historic battles, and long history of conflict as possible reasons for the oppressive feeling in the area. The episode ends without answers for the warnings or the unexplained sounds, leaving the experience unresolved. When several subtle details happen together, they can completely change how a place feels even when nothing is clearly seen. Do you think this was simply heightened awareness in isolation or something more? This segment comes from Psalm Investigators, a UK paranormal team, known for exploring wooded areas and historic locations. It is January 10th, 2026 in Shodover Forest at Shodover Country Park. As night settles in, the team remarks that the atmosphere feels very different from their daytime visits. Heavy footsteps and snapping branches are heard nearby, seeming to follow them rather than pass by.
Flipping moths, man. They're flying at the foot.
You are surrounded.
Who are we surrounded by? The Navy?
My blood.
Your blood?
You are funny.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Get off me. Bloody moth.
Spirit communication apps begin displaying unsettling words, including repeated references to the name Davies or Davy, which they connect to a nearby spot called Davy's Bench.
It was a full-on footstep.
I'm stuck. We've got that a couple of times now.
It's warm.
It's warm. I'm stuck and it's warm.
Footsteps circle the group, and messages suggesting they are surrounded appear on the devices. What follows shifts the investigation from uneasy to deeply disturbing.
There was running.
Running?
Yes, there was 100% running. Like pitter-patter footsteps.
I just heard two.
Okay, look. I recently investigated.
One investigator feels a sudden pain in the shoulder. while another reports their hood being pulled, despite no one standing close enough to explain it.
Just over there.
At the same time, bro.
Yes, exactly the same time. Whoa. I just heard a voice. Nothing just got said on these, no?
What was that? Bro, no, that's a stone. That came with some force. Did you just throw that at us? Bro, that was thrown at us.
A strange light resembling reflective eyes briefly appears in the bushes, but cannot be recreated.
Bro, more blood. It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
Last question.
What's in the corner?
To what we need to be careful of in this forest?
The door, like an exit or something.
Yeah.
There's no...
Later, combined devices display imagery resembling blood-soaked surfaces interpreted as a warning. Throughout the night, they report repeated footsteps, disturbing messages, physical sensations, a thrown object, voices, and a brief visual anomaly. By the end, the forest does not feel openly hostile but heavy and sorrowful. No answers are discovered, yet the repeated activity leaves a lasting impression. When multiple signs appear together, even small details can seem significant. Do you think this was fear shaping the experience, or something truly present in the woods?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.